Hello, my name is Stephen Kuhn, and this is my final presentation for Project Portfolio 3. For my final project, I created a Dungeons & Dragons Companion App that replaces the need for a character sheet and dice set. And it does so by having a character creator sheet, a character viewing sheet, and then at the very bottom of the page it has a dice functionality with several buttons for all 6 or 7 different dice that D&D relies on. So prior to Project Portfolio 3, all of my coding knowledge was TorqueScript from a game called Blockland back in high school, C# from the very beginning coding classes that we take, MySQL, and then JavaScript from Project Portfolio 2, and then I had a little bit of CSS and HTML knowledge from my senior year of high school. So jumping into the functionality of the app, the only feature that was fully fleshed out and made it to full completion was the dice, and I'll explain what happened with the character sheets more as I get to that. But like I said, there are 7. There's 7 different dice that are rollable here, and I did so through HTML with 2 functions. One is just a regular math.random that takes in whatever the digit is after the D, D4, D6, D8, etc., and then spits back a 1 through whatever that number is. The second function multiplies the outcome by 10 so that it can be used similar to a percentage. So D10% can be 10 to 100. The character sheet I fully wrote out and had all of the slots that I had intended for, as well as variables associated with them. However, I never fully completed the saving and loading feature. So while you can enter in your character's details in the creator, and you can send a third of your character's details to the character viewer, it's still not the full effect that I was going for, but not too terribly far off. Like I said before, there's a second portion of the character sheet where you view all of the attributes. This is literally just every tag called in with its own paragraph ID, and that is associated through the JavaScript. Well, actually, that's through the HTML side. It's just an immediate transfer from text box to text, to text. However, there's a button next to the transfer button that will send all of those same variables over to the JavaScript side. They just never get officially saved. So the success with this, the challenges, and what I hope to accomplish in the future. I remembered a bunch more HTML and CSS than I thought I would. I managed to get my dice rolling system taken care of right away, and that is one of the key features that I need to take this project beyond just viewing characters. If I'm going to simulate combat, or if I'm going to have actual events occur, then I need to have working randomizer. Although I didn't finish the saving and loading, I started to get the JavaScript local storage figured out, and had we actually had the full month to do this project, I have no doubt that I would have at least gotten the variables that I was transferring to save and load. It didn't quite become multiple web pages, but rather one giant form, and it's not exactly terrible, but it's not what I had wanted. out of the final outcome. As for the future, I'd like to see maybe a map maker or some sort of way to view character initiative, which is basically whose turn it is to do their part in a fight. Maybe like a hamburger menu that pops out on the side and you can view the full list or modify it, like if a enemy or character dies. But that's all for my final. Again, my name is Kuhn. Bye-bye.